Welcome back. Let's talk about my hair, not the hair of my head, but the hair I actually do. It's like I said, it's not a thing where if you look at the prior video, like I tell you, you go through the hair, but like it's the black people hair is hard, and so like you got to do things beforehand and prior to, in order to really get it look right. And then the polygons, the polygon count, having the mesh count, where you can actually it can actually be used as solid geometry. And like this is basically what I have, what I use, what I made to, I mean, for black people. So like, I did for braids. It's like, I had a character. I do have a character that I made to have braids. And like, then I came up with this system. And like I said, it's one of those things that like, when you gotta look for actual like polygons versus like you got the strands and you got polygons, or you got control vertices, you got polygons, and this is pretty much what I'm doing. These all could be these just solid paintings with like regular hairs. I got put them into the two of them, put them on, and then have them. I use sculpt brush and mold them back, but basically this is it's solid geometry. It's geometry that can be used. It can be tessellated. It can be tessellated, and it also can be you know used for LOD system where it can be broken back down. We're tessellated the other way to the point where it's performant for the game engine. And like I said, I started off with also like it's all I gotta do is make the model, take this, export it to whatever model I have to use, whatever model I want to use it on, and add a spline to guide it. And this is the high poly, and this is the low poly, which the actual polygon work is the material on these. I got there's two different materials. It's laying this material down on this different from that material now because I used it to construct that. I'm like to get the texture the way I want the texture. If we go into the shading part, because this is the texture that's I take this texture and it looks like a mess. Every individual braid, but like it's actually got them going one direction, the other direction because I got straight lines of hair on the material. I got a whole bunch of lines, and they're separated by so much where like you can see a gap in between the hairs. And it renders like a black line in between the hairs. So also that like I can take and it can also some of it can be they can use the alpha to kind of like take away from it a little bit to add to make it kind of look less less dense kind of a little bit, give it an illusion like it was less dense, but it's not really less dense. But it's all polygons. There's something like it. It's UV. And it's something that like any game engine can use. And don't have to have a hair system. Like I said, like, I don't do hair because metahumans and like humans are pretty much done. Like nobody everybody needs to come up with like any type of model that's human. You can make a metahuman first and then dress it up. And depending on if you use the hair or not, if they got a hat on or if they got that all depends on determines what type of because you'll have to have a version with the hat on, and you have to have a version with the hat off. If you want to do that far, if you think you want to make the hat come off the character or something like that, or if it has a helmet on or helmet off, because it's two different things. With a helmet on, Madden or anything like that, or even like Master Chief type deal, you got you're just going and putting some dreads or some hair hanging out the helmet. It's not really like it's the whole head needs to have you know, the hair on it. And sometimes they got to compensate from it because you got to say that physics is not pushing on the hair. So when you're doing the hair and you put a helmet on the head, the helmet is not pushing on the hair. I mean, they got things that you can make that can make it do that if you have geometry, if you have some sort of spline system, if you have a system set up, then it pushes down the hair towards the head. But that's more like in programming, where you program that into that where that happens when you put this on the character where it's gonna push the hair in. But really you just take the hair off and you use whatever hair you need to have hanging out the helmet. Or if it's like you got some, they got a visor on, whatever hair needs to come down the front. Not like really some modeling hair. I know, as long as I know how to do it. I mean, this is the way this is the way like you'd have to. I don't want to have to do braids every time, different every time. So I set up a system, a way that I can make braids and like have them for every character I make. If I want to have braids on every character, all I just got to do is just export this out to whatever model and then put it on there, add a spline, and have the guide spline adjust and tell manipulate how I want the hair positioned and how thin or how thick. That's the thing. So like I mean, that's the that's handmade. If you go and zoom in on it, you see strands of hair. It's the texture. I gotta fix it. Like I'm still that's stuff I can fix with the this little sequence. I just gotta go with since it's textured. Get out of this. Go over this. Go over sculpt mode. Get my move brush out and just go ahead. And move it around. I gotta take these other little straggler hairs off. But like this, then I also take these straggler hairs. I delete these straggler hairs off the system too. Like it's not I can add that particle system to be, I just add to this real quick to see how it looks all together. But, so that's in render mode. So like, anything as long as it's, you know, or pull this in the ZBrush. But I mean, I just worry about how it will trick though. Sometimes you have to worry about how the ZBrush triangulate things, but this is in triangles. But low poly looks like this. And that's one half of it. That's like the bottom half, the top half. But this is both halves together, put together and merged to where it's one. And That's how, like I said, that's how I built the texture work up and built the material up and was able to make the make it look like that. But in this, how many polygons? The low poly one would be they're in the same group, so yeah, they're in the same group. So that's under 1,000. Both with these two together, these two. So you gotta say this is three of these together. So that's a third of them. I take triangles by a third of, or 2/3, three of 2,342 triangles is how much that hair is going to be, and it's performant, and it can be used, and I can subdivide it and keep on giving it more shape to where it's not, when it breaks it down. Like I said, the hair texture part, it's going. I'll have it. I got the hairs strands. I got it made. The material's made for the high poly one, not for the low poly. So it's not. It doesn't look exactly the same. But the hair strands, how the hair strands are going the same. The color lines, right? Just because I don't know, there's some sort of little difference between the high poly and low poly. But I made the material on the low poly, then took it to the high poly, and I started messing with the material more. And then it started giving me that for the color, and that's really just because that's how that's the line texture. Because basically, the texture is a whole bunch of lines to get the hair color in the color channel, and I got the color channel multiplied where it's doing the same thing as the but I can take this. That's from the original material. It's still laid on there, but I don't have to have it on there. All I have to have was the one that I got on now on the material. If I go to material editor, shading. I just don't remember where I left off, so I remember, there's been, I don't know, last time I messed with this. And that's in the color. Let's see. And now all I have to do really, I don't want to do, I just want to save this file. Just give it a color now. And I got my hair strands. I mean, it's not smooth, but I subdivided again. I mean, with only like, 1,000 something here, 1,000 something polygons. It starts to it'll actually like, look a lot better as I subdivide and go up. But as long as I got this and I got that action with the hair and I got the fibers doing that. That's all I need to worry about. Is then like something like what is that texture at? Take this and put it into the alpha. That's a little too much, but and get barely a fraction. 0.35, 0.45. That's why, you start to see in between the individual fibers, you see and then I can also layer the braids up. I can put another layer of these braids underneath it to like give it more, more depth. So like it's the way I constructed them to like, and then add the particle system to add the little strangler hairs, and then like I said, when it comes to the shaping the rest of it, I'll be shaping it with the spline. Go back to the main one. Let's see, it's got a little bit too much. I was hoping it'd help a little bit more with the silhouette size a little bit, but like you see you get that close, and that's the thing with topology that you won't have that individual strand that will like have it look like the silhouette has the details there like that, but like even with a bump map, but displacement map though, if I throw a displacement map on it, it work. No problem. So I mean, it's not something that, and then like I said, it's already basically the hairs on the way I got it. The hair texture is on a displacement map. It's a black and white image, so I can throw it into the displacement channel and bump up the polygons and have displacement, and also have the hairs, act like with the normals, when I put a light on it, or turn it off, go back to modeling, or go back to layout, go and shut the world lights off, go give me a regular light. Or maybe turn the regular light on. Actually go into UV textures. I said the texture, this is the texture for the hair. So like, but I got that much spacing in between it so I can have have it look like it's individual strands, but it's not really individual strands. But that's the hair texture, it's a black and white texture. Like, but it's if I go and look at it in the light, and I need to have a roughness map too. So like if I go and throw, if I got anything in the roughness, I don't got nothing in the roughness. So let's go ahead and throw it in the roughness. It looks a lot better. Like that sheen and coat, you know. Never mind. I'm gonna go back to layout. Let's go back to shading light. And then constant. And then drop that value down. Then probably take the volume, take the strut down on this. So I get a better look at it. We go back to modeling or I mean that flies as I don't know if we got smoothing on too. Do I got smoothing on? I guess we say, but like it's I'll have a normal map baked on it yet. So like without having a normal map two, where the shading at? Baked on it? I do got normal map shape, so let's go. So right there, stuff the normal, see if it go. And then how the material set up is going to make it look even better. So like it's not like like there's some extravagant material that I made real quick, and then like also like the sheen like this. I'm about to throw the sheen channel on there too, whereas I might use the whole this clear coat. There we go. So that's not too bad. Going close up with some hair like I mean, depending on how, like, if I got the camera, it's not going really close up on the character. I mean, it's still a pretty good job at like getting some textured hair. Like, I mean, it still needs a little bit of work. But I'm still like, I built this and I stopped it there. I got everything else I can do once I get onto the model and then I make the texture. As long as I got this set up right here, it's the everything else is gravy. And like I said, and I can move it around. I saw a picture of it on Instagram. It's like, yeah, well, it kind of, but without like full demo, like how the system actually works. It looks like doo doo kind of a little bit. And it's like, people do hair, I don't think, I saw a couple things on the internet today, and I was like, man, you see, some people just really don't know how hard that stuff is. So maybe I need to like explain, or it's not really hard. It's time and it's taking the time to do so, and taking the time to make sure that like you got something consistently that like this is consistent, and like I'm consistently use it when I do hair until all the solution. And like I said, this stuff is you won't see that, but like it won't be seen like that normally. If I go to this right there, it's just an edit mode. It doesn't render material away. But you know, tiny brain, like, yeah, that's it. And then we got a couple. There's some hairs I got going along with it, and I got some that are going out with it. So that's where you see these two. Every once in a while, there's this hair like this going along with it. It's been going like that all over the place. And then I let some other ones go stray. But yeah, that's to have a hair system. You know, the rest of the material, as long as I got the texture and everything else, and it goes, the texture works and does. It's performing. It does exactly what I need. It's set up the way I need to make it successful, and have it like polygons. Like I said, it's under like 2/3 of 2,000 something polygons for how many polygons is this? Let me take a and seeing this, the high poly one is like 147,000 triangles. It's high, like that's. I mean, but like with nanite, they can break that down, and no problem with other. But that's you gotta think that's one braid. So like, uh, you know, but I still I can go back to the original. That's why I have the template right here that I can go back and say, I need to get back and have it a little bit lower and work on the template. And I still got the UV set up, and I still got the texture where it's got the braids. That braided hair. And I still can work on the texture too, because I still can add some shadows and highlights and spots along where they ain't painting no texture. Nothing's painted on it. It's all procedural, like pretty much, with just that one texture. So I mean, it's not really procedural because like I have to put the geometry to do this, but like and the AUVs have to be set up to do this. But even if I had like a whole, if I take these and they weren't dressed, but take that material and use it on, I can still use that material to come up with hair. I just got to style it and manipulate the polygons right to where it looks like hair and layer it right. And it'll be, it'll be hair just like this, but just going down straight lines, following the polygons. So so even with this, you got to, like I said, you got the control, and then all I got to do is add a spline to whatever model, and manipulate it to where I want it. And I got braids that like that are performing, and it's maybe just too much like focal point on that light. But that's the actual light issue with the light. Oh no, well, it's too much specularity. It's a transmission. index reflection. Light's too close to it. But it's still, why is it reflecting like that? Oh, it's not reflecting. I'm seeing the, like, this is see through. It's not really thin. That's the illusion, like I said, to give a little bit of the alpha. They don't want that much. How that thin. But yeah, that's how I got the hair going. That's how I do my hair, my system. I always try to keep on take these long videos. I try to I'm like 20 minutes. Try to rush it all 20 minutes. That's the goal. So, but like I keep on going. But like not teaching, but like getting more confidence up there. Like there's like I said, I don't really show too much, do anything, but I like to work with other people. And like I do it. I've got so I'm confident, very after what I'm doing. But thanks for checking me out. Thanks for checking out the work. Check out the work. I mean, honestly, good 30 minutes.